something rare unfolds on November 9th, a vibration so ancient it has echoed through the cycles of time as the code of 999. In many traditions, this number marks the final breath before renewal, the silent pause before a new beginning. It is the frequency of completion, not an ending, but the sacred turning of a wheel. In this video, I, Xie Hengyi, will guide you through the inner meaning of this 999 activation portal. Together, we will explore how this moment in time is not simply a date or a pattern of numbers, but an opening, a doorway within your own consciousness. It calls those who are ready to release the weight of the past, integrate the lessons of their journey, and awaken the next level of personal mastery. You will learn how ancient Shaolin principles, discipline, mindfulness, and alignment of body and spirit reveal the true power hidden behind this energetic shift. I will share how the mind can mirror the movement of the heavens, how silence can teach more than words, and why every ending conceals a divine preparation for a greater beginning. Few people understand that such portals are not external events, they are internal initiations. The true transformation happens when awareness meets action, when the inner warrior bows to stillness and steps forward with clarity. Stay with me until the end of this video. You will not only understand the meaning of November 9th, you will feel its presence within you. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire, where we blend timeless wisdom with modern awakening. If you seek depth, peace, and mastery of the self, join our journey, subscribe, and let's walk the path of awakening together. There comes a moment in every seeker's path when holding on becomes heavier than letting go. The Shaolin tradition teaches that mastery does not begin with accumulation, but with release. In meditation, we learn to observe the rising and falling of thoughts, attachments forming, identities clinging, emotions echoing, and through this observation we begin to see what no longer serves the unfolding of our spirit. When I trained under the elder monks, I was once told, before the cup can be filled, it must be emptied. At first I thought this meant discarding material possessions or distractions, but over time I discovered it spoke of something deeper, the quiet courage to let go of inner weight, the beliefs we outgrow, the roles we cling to, the stories we repeat to feel safe. These are the subtle chains that bind the mind. Completion, in the way of Shaolin, is not the death of a journey, but the refinement of it. When a student masters a form, they bow not to celebrate, but to honor the end of one phase and the beginning of deeper practice. This bow is symbolic of trust, trusting that emptiness will not destroy you, but prepare you. Today, I invite you to pause, breathe, observe the patterns that continue out of habit, the emotions that rise without purpose, the identities you wear because they are familiar. Can you feel the quiet voice asking to be freed? Can you let something end without rushing to replace it? Completion is an art. It requires awareness, stillness, and humility. Only when we release what has served its purpose can the next teaching arrive. The portal of 999 reflects this truth, the sacred cycle of ending before awakening anew. When the mind has released, a stillness fills the space once occupied by noise. This stillness is sacred. It is the silent breath before movement, the calm before purpose reveals itself. In Shaolin teaching, we are told that stillness is not idleness. It is preparation. A river may seem motionless before it flows, but beneath the surface, power gathers. Activation begins in that quiet. It is the conscious moment when awareness becomes direction. The monks would often say, when the body is ready, the mind must follow. When the mind is clear, the body must move. This harmony is what transforms energy into intention. Without alignment, even great effort dissolves into confusion. With alignment, even the smallest act becomes a sacred step forward. After letting go, you stand at the threshold of the unknown. This is where many hesitate, waiting for a sign. But the ancient way teaches the sign is your readiness. To say this, to declare your next step, is to breathe life into possibility. It is not a command to the world, it is a vow to yourself. Each word you speak with clarity reshapes the field around you. The Shaolin warrior does not rush from silence into chaos. He moves with intention, each motion reflecting an inner decision. In the same way, your activation is not about speed, but precision, knowing why you move and where your energy flows. Pause now. Feel the strength beneath your calm. Sense your body, your breath, your presence. Then speak, not to be heard, but to seal your choice into the universe. The portal opens only when the inner and outer worlds move as one. This is the essence of activation. Awareness transformed into motion, purpose awakened through discipline. The path of mastery begins with a single observation where your attention rests, your energy follows. Most people wander through their days scattered between noise, screens, and fleeting thoughts, unaware that their power leaks through 1,000 small distractions. The Shaolin way teaches that attention is the true currency of life. What you focus on grows roots within you. On days of heightened energy, such as the 999 portal, the world feels louder, emotions stir, thoughts quicken, and the unseen becomes felt. Yet this is not a call to reach outward. It is an invitation to turn inward. When the outer world expands, the inner must deepen. Close your eyes and feel where your attention lives right now. Is it resting on peace or being pulled toward chaos? Awareness alone begins the correction. In the monastery, the young disciples were taught to sweep the courtyard in silence. It was not about cleaning the ground, it was training the mind. Each stroke of the broom was an act of attention. Breath steady, motion precise, awareness anchored in the present. Through this discipline, they learned that mastery is built not in grand acts, but in the way you meet each moment. On this day, observe your habitual responses. The impulse to react, to escape, to overthink. Then choose with calm intention where you will place your awareness instead. Focus on the breath, the heartbeat, the subtle stillness within movement. This redirection is the beginning of transformation. The more you reclaim your attention, the more your energy aligns with clarity. The external world may spin, but within you there is a silent center, unmoving, untouched, eternal. To return there is to remember your strength. This is the essence of inner focus, the art of returning home to yourself. Many fear the word discipline, imagining it as confinement or control. Yet in the ancient Shaolin tradition, discipline is the very key that opens the gates to freedom. True liberation cannot exist without structure, for without it, the mind becomes restless and the spirit unfocused. Discipline is the art of shaping energy with precision, a quiet contract between the self you are and the self you are becoming. In the monastery, a day begins before the sun itself. The body bows to routine, breathwork, stillness, training, reflection. At first, the repetition feels demanding, but as time passes, the mind learns something extraordinary. The more consistent the structure, the more space appears within it. The student discovers that freedom is not the absence of limits, but the mastery of them. On a day of activation such as this 999 portal, the same principle applies. A portal may open cosmic energy, but without a disciplined vessel, that energy disperses. So choose one simple act of commitment today, 9 minutes of deep breathing, mindful walking, or journaling with focused intention. Treat it as your anchor in this transition. The elders used to say, when you cannot handle the little, you cannot handle the big. This truth humbles even the strongest. Great transformations are born from small consistencies. The way you pour tea, the way you breathe before speaking, the way you greet the dawn. Each gesture reveals your level of mastery. Discipline does not bind, it refines. It teaches the body to obey wisdom, not impulse. It teaches the mind to find peace in repetition, and through that steady rhythm, the soul learns to move freely, unshaken by the changing tides. Structure becomes sanctuary. Routine becomes revelation. In that still precision, freedom awakens. In the halls of the Shaolin temple, one truth is repeated through generations. The warrior must be as fluid as water and as steady as stone. Hardness without softness becomes brittle. Softness without strength becomes formless. Mastery lives in the space between the two, where power meets grace and control yields to flow. During training, a monk's day is a study in this paradox. 1 hour, The body strikes with precision and force. The next, it moves in silence through meditation. Each punch and each breath are two halves of the same teaching. Strength serves nothing if it lacks awareness, and peace is empty without courage behind it. The monk learns that the heart of a warrior beats in rhythm with compassion. On this activation day, the same principle unfolds within you. To pass through the 999 portal, you must stand firm in your truth, rooted, unshaken, yet open enough to let new energy enter. There are moments when you must be fierce, cutting away the remnants of the past with decisive clarity. And then there are moments when gentleness becomes your greatest power, when you allow healing, trust, and renewal to flow in without resistance. This is the art of balance, the ability to know when to strike and when to yield. The world outside moves through cycles of tension and release, just as your inner world does. To harmonize with these rhythms is to move as nature moves, adapting, adjusting, never rigid, never weak. When you embody both hardness and softness, you become like bamboo, flexible in the storm, yet unbroken. The activation of this day is not achieved through force alone, but through harmony, the union of stillness and motion, discipline and surrender, strength and peace. In the Shaolin tradition, the body is not separate from the spirit. It is its reflection, its vessel, its language. Every movement, every breath, every stance tells the story of the mind that commands it. When the mind is scattered, the body falters. When the body is grounded, the mind finds stillness. This unity is the foundation of true mastery. The elders would often remind their students, before you command the heavens, learn to command your breath. In the temple courtyards, long before dawn, monks would align their posture with the rising sun, feet rooted to the earth, spine lengthened, breath flowing like water. Through this daily ritual, they trained not only muscle and bone, but awareness itself. The body became a prayer in motion. On this day of the 999 activation, you too are invited to bridge the physical and the unseen. Begin with something simple yet sacred. Take 9 deep breaths, slow and deliberate. With each inhale, draw in calm strength. With each exhale, release the residue of the old. Then perform 9 small stretches, mindful, unhurried, honoring each sensation as a messenger of presence. Feel the connection between movement and awareness, between form and formlessness. When we embody change, the mind follows. The portal does not open through thought alone, it opens when thought and form meet in harmony. To move consciously is to declare that your transformation is not just spiritual but cellular, not just an idea but a lived experience. Through physical awareness, the unseen becomes tangible. The breath carries intention into the body, and the body carries that intention into the world. In this way, every motion becomes a bridge between heaven and earth, grounding the awakening of the soul in the grace of human form. In the Shaolin path, illusion is the greatest opponent, not the illusion of the world, but the illusion of who we think we are. Every practitioner eventually meets the mirror of self-image. The ideas we hold about strength, wisdom, success, or awakening. These images are often shaped by comparison, desire, or fear. And yet the deeper truth is far quieter. It exists not in who we think we should be, but in the reality of who we are right now. In the temple, the masters often challenge their students with a simple question: can you see yourself clearly? At first, most would answer with confidence. But clarity is not achieved by speaking. It is achieved by looking without judgment into the present moment. The Shaolin way teaches that balance is born from the space between expectation and reality. To walk this middle path, you must first see both sides honestly. On this day of the 999 portal, reflect deeply. What do I expect from this activation? Do I seek a miracle, a sign, a sudden transformation? And then ask the harder question, what will I accept as real? Sometimes the most sacred change is subtle. A single breath of awareness, a small shift in perception, a quiet peace that replaces restlessness. Let go of the demand for perfection. Release the idea of how enlightenment should look. When you drop the mask of expectation, the truth of your being begins to breathe again. Reality, when seen clearly, is not limiting. It is liberating. It anchors your energy where it can truly grow. Through acceptance, you become aligned with the flow of life itself, where progress happens not through fantasy, but through the grace of presence and honesty. There is a quiet power in simply being. The Shaolin teachings remind us that the mind, when scattered between memory and anticipation, loses its strength. Presence is the foundation upon which mastery is built. A clarity that does not rush, does not force, and does not cling. It is the art of resting fully in the moment, the gentle yet unwavering awareness of life as it unfolds. The ancient practice of establishing mindfulness, Satipa Yunghana, guides this journey. It is not complicated, nor does it demand effort beyond attention. It asks only that you notice the rise and fall of breath, the movement of the body, the shifting currents of thought. Awareness becomes the silent bridge between what is seen and what is felt, between the external world and the inner field. On November 9th, the 999 portal invites a pause, a sacred pause where the subtle energy of the day can be recognized and received. Sit quietly, let the body settle, let the mind soften. Observe the sensations in your hands, your feet, your chest. Notice the quiet dialogue of thought and feeling. Do not judge, do not chase, simply witness. In this stillness, the portal becomes tangible. The mind senses the shift, not as spectacle, but as presence. The subtle energy moves through you, not as force, but as awareness. Each inhalation anchors you. Each exhalation releases the tension of distraction. In these few minutes, the world's momentum slows, and you find the rhythm of your own being. Through presence and stillness, mastery emerges naturally. It is not a performance nor a goal to achieve, but a depth to enter. By aligning with this quiet awareness, the mind and body attune to the activation, a seamless, silent awakening that moves from inside out. True mastery does not end within the skin of the body or the confines of the mind. In Shaolin philosophy, strength is inseparable from virtue, and power finds its purpose in service. The warrior trains not only to defend, but to protect. The monk cultivates discipline not merely for self, but to uplift others. Each act of cultivation carries an invisible thread that touches the world beyond oneself. The 999 portal reminds us of this truth. Activation is not only an inward journey, it is a ripple that spreads outward. When intention is aligned with awareness, the energy of transformation flows naturally from the personal to the universal. What begins as a single breath, a single choice, a single affirmation can influence countless unseen currents around us. When committing to your statement of activation, to your consider extending it beyond personal gain. Let it carry compassion, intention, and care. Let it honor those who have supported you, those whose lives intersect with yours, and those you may never meet but whose path intersects with the collective consciousness. The more the heart opens in service, the more profound the activation becomes. In the monastery, students are reminded that a disciplined life without compassion is empty. Strength without kindness becomes violence. Awareness without generosity becomes isolation. True balance arises when the self is cultivated in harmony with the world. Pause now and sense the network of life around you, the invisible currents, the silent exchange of energy, the subtle interdependence of all beings. Anchor your choice in this awareness. When your activation arises from love, service, and care, the portal is no longer just a personal doorway. It becomes a conduit of energy, a beacon that uplifts, a practice that expands the boundaries of what it means to awaken. The portal opens, a moment of clarity, a surge of energy that feels larger than life. Yet even the most powerful activation is only the beginning. In Shaolin tradition, mastery is not a single event, nor a dramatic transformation witnessed once. It is a lifetime of small, deliberate steps. Each breath, each stance, each act of awareness building the foundation for the next. After November 9th, the work continues quietly. The body, mind, and heart require gentle attention, daily practice, and patience. Micro-practices become the vessels that carry the energy of the portal into lasting change. A few mindful breaths, a short period of meditation, a moment of reflection, these are not trivial. They are the threads that weave transformation into the fabric of life. The path beyond activation demands returning again and again. The mind will wander, old habits will reappear, and distractions will tempt you. Yet each return, each conscious choice, strengthens the alignment between intention and reality. The portal has given you a glimpse of possibility, but the full unfolding requires devotion, consistency, and humility. The elders teach that energy without integration is like water spilled on stone. It flows and vanishes. Integration, the careful practice of presence, discipline, and awareness, allows the portal's activation to take root within. The body remembers the alignment, the mind remembers the clarity, and the heart remembers the openness. Step forward with patience. Cherish the lessons of release, activation, and reflection. Let each day become a continuation of the portal's promise. The opening was only the first gesture. The journey is ongoing. In the quiet repetition of practice, in the steady cultivation of self, the awakening of November 9th transforms from a single moment into a life fully lived, one mindful step at a time. November 9th offers more than a moment. It offers a doorway into transformation. The 999 activation portal reminds us that true mastery is built step by step, by releasing what no longer serves, directing attention inward, grounding ourselves in discipline, balancing strength with softness, and remaining fully present. Each choice, each breath, each intentional act becomes part of the ripple that extends beyond the self, touching the world in subtle but profound ways. As you move forward, let the lessons of this day guide your daily practice. Begin with small actions, a mindful breath in the morning, a moment of stillness before decisions, a gesture of compassion toward others. These micro-practices anchor the energy of the portal into tangible lived experience. Over time, they cultivate clarity, resilience, and deeper self-mastery. Step through this gateway consciously. Let the activation settle within your mind, body, and heart. Allow it to awaken awareness, strengthen discipline, and nurture the harmony between effort and surrender. In this way, the energy of November 9th becomes not just a fleeting moment, but a continuous journey of growth and presence. May this portal remind you that awakening is not sudden. It is gradual, patient, and tender, built through attention and care. Embrace the path with openness and calm, letting each step carry the wisdom you have received. If this message resonates with you, join our community here at Shaolin Soulfire. Subscribe and continue walking this journey of depth, clarity, and mindful mastery together.